Welcome back to Module 23, Partnerships and Strategic Alliances. This is all about unlocking distribution, leverage, and scalable growth. Up to this point, your growth has come from three things: direct sales, content, and the conversion systems that we built. That works, but it has a ceiling because every bit of growth depends entirely on you, your effort, content that you personally generate, deals that you personally are closing. Yes, you have some tools and systems, but everything is still reliant upon you or your direct team, which has a lot of high direct costs. Partnerships give you access to scale. They give you access to distribution, new audiences, and infrastructure you don't own or didn't have to build. That is the point where growth shifts from manual to leveraged. A partnership is simply leveraged access to customers through someone else's system. Instead of building everything yourself, you plug into those existing systems and channels, align incentives, and then you share value. Partnerships let you grow beyond what your own hands can produce. Before we look at the models, let's be honest about what makes a partnership actually work. The best partnerships work for one reason: both sides make money. It's really that simple. Both sides want to benefit from growth. Both sides want to benefit from access to new potential customers or strategic partners. So both sides have a reason to keep showing up. When the incentives are aligned, the relationship runs itself. When they're misaligned, it breaks fast. Misaligned incentives are the single most common way that partnerships fall apart. Every model we cover today should be judged by whether the value is genuinely shared. A partnership only survives when both sides win from the same outcome. Here's the trap that most founders fall into the moment they decide to pursue partnerships. At this stage, it's tempting to pursue every channel at once. Resist it. Chasing everything leads to a scattered focus, operational overload, and weak results everywhere. Strong operators pick one or two models. They go deep. They build real systems around those models. Then you expand later after a channel is proven and running cleanly and efficiently. Focus first, expand later. That order really does matter. Now let's walk the actual models because each one carries different economics and different costs. The core partnership models. First, you've got retail and distributors. Retail gives you physical presence and customer exposure. You sell wholesale, the store stocks, displays, and sells. Retail markups run about 30 to 60%. Yes, that is steep. But it brings brand visibility, built-in trust signals. It gets you access to customers you wouldn't be able to get on your own, but you accept lower margins, inventory requirements, and heavy reliance on sell-through at each location. Distributors buy or represent your product and they place it into stores and accounts. Their margins run 20 to 40%. And the retail margin is on top of that. So you may end up having multiple tiers adding to your pricing, and you need to keep that in mind as if you're going to go through retail or distribution. Distributors can scale you fast and open networks, but you trade away your control and your feedback speed. And watch for hidden costs, including packaging, shelf displays, merchandising, logistics, inventory planning. And oftentimes you have to pay for everything up front, but you don't get paid till months or even years later on the back end once things actually start selling through. The next partnership model is consignment. This can be reps, resellers, individual sellers. Consignment has a pretty low barrier entry. It's an easier way into retail, but there's way fewer stores that do things on consignment. That's where you place your product, and then you only get paid once it actually sells through, and then the store takes 10 to 30%. Consignment's easy to place, but you carry the inventory risk, delayed cash flow, restocking visits, and manual tracking. Independent sales reps, on the other hand, and brokers that can pitch your product to open accounts, they do things on a commission basis. That can be as low as 5% and as high as 25%. It's performance-based and it's scalable, but it requires a lot of training, and yet you have limited control. Oftentimes, these independent reps and brokers are just amassing as many products as they can and then essentially offering catalog sales to their customers. Resellers, on the other hand, they'll buy or license your product and then sell it to their customers. This is something that's common in SaaS, hardware, white labeling options, service options. These have margins of 15 to 40%. Resellers can extend your reach with aligned incentives, but oftentimes they have their own branding, so you can be a subjected to brand dilution and dependency upon them for distribution. Another type of partnership is affiliates, platforms, and marketplaces. Affiliates will promote your product and earn a commission, typically 10 to all the way up to 50%. This can include people like influencers on TikTok Shop or other people who have a large reach. Affiliates work when you have a strong offer, clear messaging, and reliable tracking. Remember though, affiliates scale what already works. They don't fix a weak offer on their own. Next, you've got platforms and marketplaces. These can be things like the Shopify ecosystem, Amazon, Whatnot, and other SaaS marketplaces. They can give immediate exposure and built-in traffic, but fees run 10 to 30%. Plus, you have to do a lot of ad spend and SEO, search engine optimization for their platforms. Platforms bring a lot of high competition, ongoing ad spend, limited control, plus there's hidden costs in listings, ads, and reviews. Next, we've got strategic and referral partners. Strategic partners serve the same audience as you. You can run cross promotions, bundled offers. You share the same audiences. They can be very high leverage with strong alignment, but they require coordination and relationship management. Referral partners send you leads from their own ecosystem and earn a referral fee anywhere between 5 and 20%. Referrals are one of the highest quality channels. High trust, strong conversion, though volume is less predictable. Each of these models offer a trade-off between reach, margin, and control. Know your numbers, what you want, and what you're willing to live with before you commit to any of these. Now, revenue share is only one part of the equation. The real cost includes marketing, operations, and support. Retail costs you displays and packaging. Sales reps cost you samples and trainings. Platforms cost you ads and optimization. Events cost you travel and booths. Think of it as true cost stack. Revenue plus marketing plus operations plus support. Profitability is revenue share and support costs combined. Okay? Not the headline percentage alone. So you really need to look at what are your costs for selling the product, making the product, but also marketing the product. Beyond these core models, there's a whole layer of industry and ecosystem channels worth knowing. Trade shows, conferences, events, those drive partnerships, exposure, lead gen through high density interaction and fast feedback, but they're expensive and time intensive. Industry networks and associations, they provide credibility, connections, and access in exchange for membership fees and annual dues. The value from associations comes from participation, not just membership. Paying to join isn't the same as showing up. You got to actually go. And again, like most things in life, it's about getting out what you put into it. Additionally, consortiums and academies open doors in education, niche industries, and high trust sectors, providing access, authority, and audience. With all these options on the table, you need a clean way to decide which ones to pursue. Before any partnership, ask 4 questions in order. 1, does this reach my ideal customer? If it doesn't, then nothing else matters. 2, are incentives aligned so both sides win from the same outcome? 3, can I support this operationally with the people and systems I actually have? Don't bite off another revenue stream if you can't actually fulfill it. 4, do the economies make sense after the full cost stack, not just the cut? If any answer is unclear, the partnership will struggle. So get clear before you commit. And once you've chosen, the agreement itself has to be airtight. So let's talk about agreements and structures. Every partnership should define 5 things in writing: pricing, commission, margin, commission or margin, payment terms, responsibilities, and performance expectations. They're not formalities. These are the things that you point to when the relationship gets tense. Misaligned incentives break partnerships quickly, and most of that misalignment traces back to a vague agreement. Use partnership agreement templates that are in the resource library so you're not drafting from scratch. Clear terms up front. To prevent disputes that are going to could kill your deals or otherwise good channels. Some common mistakes here. Entering a partnership too early before your offer and operations can actually support a channel. Unclear agreement terms that leave responsibilities or expectations open to interpretation. Ignoring the true costs and pricing instead of the full cost stack. Chasing too many channels at once, which scatters focus and produces weak results everywhere. And not tracking performance. That way you can't tell which partnerships are actually working and which ones are quietly draining on you. To stay on the right side of all this, use the tools built for it that we have available to you. 3 tools support this module: the partnership evaluation framework, the channel tracking system, and the agreement templates. Run every prospective partnership through the partner evaluation framework before you commit, using the 4 questions on reach, incentives, operations, and economics. You use the channel tracking system so you're measuring performance, not guessing which channels earn their keep. And the agreement templates to lock pricing, margin, payment terms, responsibilities, and expectations in writing. Now, of course, you want to have your own legal documents. These are just templates to get you thinking in the right terms. Okay, these are not fully binding legal documents because those need to be tied to your specific company. All of my tools and frameworks are just to help you get in the right mindset. Now, this module completes the transition from direct growth to leveraged growth. You should now understand that partnerships unlock scale, leverage, and distribution by giving you access to systems you don't own. Each model, retail, distributors, consignment, reps, resellers, affiliates, platforms, strategic, referrals, they all carry their own economics, trade-offs, and hidden costs. You choose by testing reach, incentive alignment, operational support, and true economics. Then lock the terms in a clear agreement and track performance. Partnerships bring new customers to the Partnerships bring new customers in the door at scale, but acquiring them is only half the work. The real value comes from keeping them and growing what each one is worth over time. And that's what we'll get into in Module 24: retention, engagement, and the customer experience. I will see you guys there.